Well, let's return now to our main story this afternoon and that growing number of claims from former footballers that they suffered abuse as young players. Former Sports Minister David Mellor has said he's not remotely confident that the right processes are in place, even in 2016, to prevent this sort of abuse happening to young footballers today. Well, joining us now live from central London is the former London youth football coach, Mickey Ambrose. Good afternoon to you, Mickey Ambrose. As someone who was working in the youth game, does this surprise you? Were you aware of these allegations?
Well, first of all, I'd like to send my, I wouldn't say condolences, but I'm just very upset with what's been coming out recently. There have been slight rumours a few years ago in relation to the Crewe situation. I just think that people have to find their conscience today, because this is really, really terrible. And we have now former players, three forces now working in particular on these cases.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think it has taken for those like Andy Woodward, like Paul Stewart, for example, to come forward and waive their right to anonymity to talk about this?
Yeah, I mean, it must have taken a lot of strength for many, many years. Sorry, it's quite upsetting, actually. Sorry. It's just taken many years for these guys to come forward. You know, every boy and girl's dream is to be a footballer. I would say it in that way. And when you're in that situation where you sign for a professional club or you're being scouted, all you want to do, all your parents want is you to make it. And for these vile, evil people who are in a position of trust, who do these kind of things, is absolutely horrific. I just hope that we find them, root them out. And I just say, I applaud Wayne Rooney and other players that are speaking out to others who have been affected by this to come forward, be brave, and try and get closure.
Yeah, and the point being made that not everybody has to come out and speak publicly about this. They don't have to be on the front page of a newspaper. They don't have to appear on television. But if they do approach police, then they will have some kind of closure from this.
Yes. I mean, as I say, the NSPCC do a fantastic job with working with the Football Association, with the helpline. They say football is the beautiful game, football is the family. It's now time for people that know anything, and I'm telling you now, there's people out there that know a lot, and they need to now step up to the plate, find their conscience, and start helping these people who have been abused in this situation. I mean, you were talking about 8-year-old boys, 11-year-olds and so on, who are being taken to football tours back in the day and being abused by men who are just absolutely vile, and they need to be found and caught, and people need to speak up right now.
Yeah, I mean, parents watching this will be filled with horror at the idea that you could be sending your young children off into what you think are safe hands to do something they love, playing football, and that they could become the victim of abuse. What safeguards are in place now to protect young children?
Well, it's quite ironic, isn't it? In 1998, this guy Bennell was charged for his offences, and it's ironic that in 1998 the academies were being developed. Over 12,500 young boys trying to get into an academy. From the age of 8 to 11, they're being developed by coaches around the UK. At 16 they get a scholarship. Earning £120, staying in lodges or digs near football clubs where they're trying to sign for. I played for a youth team back in the 70s called Simrab FC in Poplar, where I was brought up in East London, who produced 170 professional footballers, 20 internationals and 3 England captains. We're talking like the likes of John Terry, Ledley King, Jermaine Defoe, all came through the ranks at Simrab. And I know for a fact that clubs like Simrab have the safeguarding measures in place where coaches are CRB checked, enhanced CRB checked. As I say, it's ironic that in 1998 this guy was sent to prison, and it was at the same time when academies came forward. Before that, it was you're being scouted by, it could be a taxi driver who has links with Tottenham or West Ham. There weren't the safeguards in place then. And I know the FA have to work with the PFA and other organisations like the Football League to ensure the safety of our kids.
OK, Mickey Ambrose, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
You're welcome. Thank you.